Hello and welcome to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. This is SK. Today we delve deeper into the essence of what drives our local economies, the small businesses. These enterprises are more than just commercial entities. They represent personal dreams, form the lifeblood of our communities, and serve as a catalyst for innovation. We look beyond transactions to the relationships and values nurtured within these businesses, which create the resilient and dynamic fabric of our local economies. Each episode is a journey into the stories of resilience, creativity, and success that define our small businesses. Join us in the celebration of these vital contributors to our economy and understand the importance of supporting them for our collective prosperity and community health. Let's dive in. Today, we are thrilled to welcome Tristan Retelsdorf, Director of Brand and Customer Marketing at TELUS Business. Tristan is a marketing expert known for his skill in leading teams, launching integrated products, and executing impactful marketing campaigns. He is a key figure in shaping the TELUS Business brand and creating campaigns that support Canadian small businesses. His leadership in initiatives like TELUS Pitch and Stand with Owners has garnered major awards, including Gartner North American Marketer of the Year and Canadian Marketing Awards. With TELUS Business being a top B2B brand in Canada, Tristan's exceptional leadership has been recognized with TELUS Peak Performer Awards and a Leadership in Practice Award. His involvement in the Canadian Marketing Association's B2B Council underscores his commitment to the marketing industry. In today's episode, we also celebrate a significant milestone in the Canadian business landscape. Recently, 5 outstanding Canadian businesses were each awarded a $125,000 grand prize package as a part of the 4th annual TELUS Stand with Owners program. This initiative honors businesses that are revolutionizing their fields, addressing today's challenges, and leveraging technology for growth and differentiation. Join us as we explore these inspiring stories and the impact of TELUS initiatives on the Canadian business landscape. Hello, Tristan. It's a pleasure to have you here on Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me. It's a great privilege to be in today.
It's a pleasure. Your work in empowering small businesses through innovative marketing strategies and initiatives like TELUS Pitch earlier and now Stand with Owners is truly inspiring. Your efforts have not only garnered a significant accolades but also played a crucial role in uplifting the Canadian small business landscape. Let's dive into our conversation and learn more about your insights. Tristan, TELUS has been a significant supporter of small businesses. Can you share how TELUS Business uniquely positions itself to champion these businesses and what drives this commitment?
Yeah, I think the answer to that question is let's go back to the brand. The TELUS Business brand. And many, many years ago, there wasn't a separate brand to TELUS for our business customers. We were very much in the consumer division, and there was a lot of, if you know the TELUS brand, there's lots of cute animals, which we call critters, lots of cute metaphors. And as our business division started to grow and get a little bit more confidence as a marketing organization, we realized we need our own voice. We need our own marketing assets and our own way of talking to our customers. And so that started a journey where we sought out to create a brand that was unique for business customers. And, on that journey, one of the insights that we had along the way is, you don't want to just talk about products. You want to build an emotional connection, especially when you talk about small businesses. Running a small business is actually a very emotional activity, right? It's your passion. It's the thing that you think about when you get up in the morning. It's the thing you think about when you go to sleep at night. And so we felt it was really important from a brand perspective to create something that small businesses could see themselves in. And, we spend a lot of time imagining what it's like to be a business owner. Right, you wear many different hats. I'm sure you've heard all the analogies. You wear many different hats. You have to get pulled in a lot of different directions. And so what we try to do as a brand is to say, we understand that, we get you, and our job is to make it as easy as possible to deal with us and also to run your business at the same time. So that's just a little bit of a history about our brand and where we are today.
Yeah, right. In this support, what do you believe has been the most impactful initiative or strategy TELUS Business has implemented?
Yeah, I think, we tend to think about our brand stories and then our product stories. And I think with our brand, we're discussing today our Stand With Owners campaign, which we've been running for the last 4 years. But the Stand With Owners campaign is actually the result of 10 years of commitment to the small business community. It started with the Globe and Mail Challenge. And we ran that for many years with in conjunction with the Globe and Mail. And then that graduated to TELUS Pitch. And we ran that for many years. And then when the COVID-19 pandemic happened, we pivoted with Stand With Owners, and we've just wrapped our 4th year. So, I think we're very proud of those 3 branding programs. And then, of course, we've got industry-leading networks and innovative technologies that really help businesses and owners stay connected to the things that matter most to them.
Yeah. So back in 2019, I think in our Canadian SME Small Business magazine, we covered about the TELUS Pitch.
That's right.
And it was truly inspiring to know the stories of so many small business owners. So the shift from TELUS Pitch to Stand With Owners during the pandemic marks a significant transformation. How has this journey been, and what are the changes and growth of the Small Business Owners campaign over the years?
Yeah, so, let's go back and talk a little bit about TELUS Pitch that your publication covered. It was at the time one of Canada's largest small business contests. Businesses applied, they competed, and ultimately they were trying to win $100,000 in funding from TELUS. And we were all set to do another pitch. It was great. It was working well. Customers really liked it. And then the pandemic happened. And as we all know, the pandemic was challenging for everyone, but it was especially challenging for small business owners. And we realized that, having small business owners effectively compete against one another wasn't the right thing to do for that moment. And so we met with our agency partners, we met with our senior leaders, and we had a frank and honest conversation. We said, we need to change. We need to pivot here. And we landed on this idea of right now in the first year of the pandemic, the most important thing is we stand with the small business community. And it was that idea that led to the Stand With Owners campaign. Now, since then, we're 4 years in. Fortunately, the pandemic is behind us, but we still are standing with owners. They're incredibly important to our communities, our economies, and that's why we've continued that commitment well beyond the pandemic.
Yeah, I think we are fortunate as a publication that every year we have been covering all these business success stories and covering the Stand With Owners campaign. So more and more small business owners can learn from each other.
Right.
Reflecting on this evolution, what were some of the key lessons learned that you think other businesses can benefit?
Yeah, I think, if you go back to the Stand With Owners campaign, and we get thousands of applications. It's really, really tough to go through them because there's so many compelling stories. And I think the thing that really stands out is the storytelling behind being an owner and a small business owner. And not only the storytelling around the idea that you got for the business, where did it start, what was the problem you saw or the opportunity you sensed. That's really important to tell that story. But you also want to tell the story about how your business is succeeding, how it's growing, how is it using technology to overcome obstacles and grow and differentiate itself against its peers. And so, it really comes down to storytelling, and those that do really well in the Stand With Owners program are the ones that I think are the best at telling that story together.
Yeah, that's true. And digital transformation was the most important part of all these campaigns and all these initiatives.
That's right.
And I think a digital transformation is very, very important for any business to move forward, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Experiencing Stand With Owners as the top trending topic on Twitter in Canada must have been a monumental moment for you and for your team at TELUS.
Yeah.
What was the impact of this event on both on a personal level and for the campaign success?
It was both exhilarating and terrifying, if I'm honest with you. So we, as a marketer, you have an idea and you work on a campaign, and through intuition and experience and market research and working with a group of people, you get confident the idea that you have is going to work, but you don't really know until you launch it.
Yes.
Right? And so when we launched the Stand With Owners campaign in the first year, we knew we had a good idea, but we didn't know how good an idea. Yeah. And I remember, we launched Friday morning and I was in my kitchen just going through my social media feed, and I could see the number of followers following the TELUS Business handle on Instagram going up, not one at a time or two at a time, but 100 at a time, 200 at a time. And I've never seen anything like that. And so I happened to open X, formerly known as Twitter, and could see that we had broken into the top 10 of trending topics on Twitter. And throughout the course of the day, we just inched up and inched up and inched up. And by the end of the day, we took the top spot for a couple of hours. And so that was both exhilarating because it was confirmation that we had an idea that connected.
Correct.
And that's always such an aspirational thing that any marketer wants to achieve. But it's also terrifying because now you've got thousands of people that have stood up and said, I like what you're doing. I'm going to stand with a small business owner. And you just didn't want to let those people down.
Yeah.
So both a highlight, but also very scary at the same time.
Yeah. It was a very good emotional connect, right?
Correct. Yeah.
How do you think such digital engagements shape the narrative and visibility of small businesses in the digital space?
It's a great question. I mean, I think this is especially the case before the pandemic, but after the pandemic, all small businesses have to be digital businesses. If you're not, it's going to be very, very hard to grow and differentiate your business. And so where we see TELUS fitting in that is, small business owners are very savvy. They're very smart. They've got a good handle on what they need to do to run their business. But it's also not their expertise, right? Their passion is the idea and building their team members and working with suppliers, not solving technology issues. And that's where we come in, right? What we really want to do is be not a telco, but a technology partner that can sit with you and say, listen, I understand what you're trying to do with your business. You could go left, you could go right, you could go up, you could go down. Let us help you choose the right solution and work with you to implement it. Because you mentioned the phrase digital transformation before. And the reality is most digital transformation projects don't achieve their end objective. And so you need someone like TELUS who can say, I have the expertise and the passion to increase the odds in your favor. So definitely if you're any business right now needs to be embracing digital.
That's very, very important.
Yeah.
TELUS initiatives have, without any doubt, to numerous inspiration stories from small businesses.
Yes.
Could you share a highlight or two about grand prize winners of your programs and the journey?
Totally. It's this year's Stand With Owners, we had 15 finalists. We had 5 grand prize winners. And it's a little cliched, but I can't pick a favorite.
Yes.
They're all such compelling stories. And, the thing that I get inspired by the most every year is actually the volume of stories that we hear about. And I know your organization runs a very similar sort of contest with your publication.
Yes.
And, the highlight of my work week is sitting down with my team and going through the applications. Yes. And the thing that I really get inspired about is the passion, but also that commitment that small businesses took to come up with an idea. When most people go through this life and they have ideas, they see opportunities, they see frustrations, but they don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
But business owners do. Right? They see an opportunity, they see a frustration, they see something they're good at, and they want to do something about it. And I love that. So my favorite thing out of all of the businesses that we get to meet is both that idea, but I also love hearing stories about scaling. Okay. When the small business gets product market fit or basically gets their bet right? They had an idea, they launched a bidders and they got it right. And when you see them, their growth curve, they're going to a larger facility or bringing on more staff or launching a new product line. Those are the stories that I really love the most.
Yeah. So in these stories, Tristan, what common threads have you noticed about the resilience and innovation of small business owners?
Totally. I mean, it's constantly inspiring. And I think the real challenge of a small business owner is so many things that you have to stay on top of. You are the COO, the CEO, the CMO, the chief sales rep. Like you're constantly context switching and wearing different hats, just trying to keep your business operational and thriving. And so I really have a lot of respect for the hustle and the grind that small businesses have to go through every day to make their dream a reality. And it's just really inspiring to hear that.
Yeah, it's good to hear that. The launch of Fully Managed this year appears to be a groundbreaking move. How did customer research insights drive the marketing strategy for this launch, and what sets this initiative apart?
Totally. So To answer the question, we'll give a little bit of context around what is fully managed. So fully managed is a managed IT company that TELUS recently acquired, and they specialize in managing all of your IT needs. It could be cybersecurity, moving to the cloud, long-term IT planning, onboarding new employees, networking issues, you name it. And so when we acquired Fully Managed, it was both an exciting opportunity, but also a marketing challenge because it was a new category that TELUS wasn't known for. So originally we thought, you know what, we've always marketed to small business owners. We're going to do the same thing. And the idea that we had was, an average small business owner, again, wearing many different hats and having many different responsibilities, chances are IT is not one of the things they want to be responsible for. Right. They want to get that off their plate so they can focus on doing other things. So before we launched our campaign, we did a whole bunch of market research, and it turns out we were partially right. So what we were right on was that idea of IT is taking up more and more time of people's time. Right. What we missed was that was a challenge not just for business owners. So as small businesses get bigger, they start to add in support functions. You get a business manager, you get an office manager, you get an IT manager. And what our market research showed was, regardless of your job title, IT issues are taking you away from the things that you'd rather be doing. So that insight caused us to broaden our perspective. And if you go to our website, telus.com/fully managed and have a look at the videos and the creative and the copy, we definitely try to cast a wider net as possible. So definitely a valuable lesson that had we not talked to our customers, we would have got it kind of right, but not fully right. And so definitely an important lesson to go out and before committing to any major initiative, talk to the people that you're actually appealing to.
Based on your experience, Tristan, how important is customer feedback in shaping the direction of new products and services?
Oh, it's essential. I mean, the fully managed example is a great example of that, where you think you're going in one direction, and actually customers want you to go in a different direction. And we've done a lot of market research over the years. And it's funny, when we ask small business owners when they want to work with a telecommunications provider or technology partner, we say, what's important to you? The thing they say the most is just make it easy for me, yes, right? Like, I understand the technology. I know what I can do with the internet. I know what cell phones can do. But the reality is when I buy those solutions for my business, I want it to be as frictionless as possible. And so that's where we take those insights, and really what we try to do, not only from a product roadmap perspective, but also from a customer experience perspective, is remove that friction, right? We have a saying internally that we're not afraid to do the hard work to make things easy for our customers. And that's really based on that idea of, that's an insight-driven observation of what small business owners are really looking for.
Yeah. Looking ahead, what are the key goals or upcoming initiatives for TELUS Business that continue to support and empower small businesses in Canada?
Yeah, so our purpose is, we say we empower businesses to thrive in a digital world. And there's a couple of things to unpack there. The word thrive is really important.
Yes.
And that means different things to different people. That could mean launching a new product line, making more money to send your kids on vacation, opening up a secondary location, whatever it happens to be. But as we mentioned before, it's increasingly becoming a digital-centric world. And so when we think about what TELUS is looking to accomplish, we have our product initiatives. And so, we have world-class networks. We have intelligent solutions that help you run your little bit business better. Those are the things that we sell. But we also spend a lot of time on the brand and how we do it. And so really working with our customers to make it as frictionless as possible, really helping ensure that when they go on their digital journey, they have a high likelihood of being successful. And then as a brand, we also are a big believer in being powered by purpose, right? We want to be known as a brand that invests in the community and does important things, because not only do we think that's the right thing to do, but many of our customers also subscribe to that idea as well. And they want to choose suppliers that share that initiative. And so the belief is, doesn't matter if you're the owner of a small business, the leader of a team, we want to empower owners, leaders, and teams to basically grow and differentiate their business and use technology to do so. So we're going to continue to tell those stories going into next year.
Right. How do you envision these goals and initiatives impacting the Canadian small businesses landscape in the next few years?
Yeah, we see ourselves as being an enabler of Canadian entrepreneurism, and we should be very proud. We've got some great businesses, great ideas. As again, we stand with owners. We've met thousands of business owners from across the country, so it's very much a privilege to be able to support them on their journey and act as that technology partner. And ultimately, what we want to do is ensure that they're connected to the things that matter most in their life, and that could be their business, that could be their team, it could be their families, but it could also be their community. And it's a very important role, and one that we take very seriously.
Tristan, before we wrap up, is there any special message for small business owners that you would like to share?
Yeah, no, I think it's keep doing what you're doing. It's amazing work. You should be very proud. And as a brand and as an organization, we're very privileged to be able to support the small business community. So keep doing what you're doing every day. It's amazing work, and TELUS as well as all of Canada are behind you and very proud.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Tristan. It was a pleasure hosting you today, and thank you so much for sharing your valuable insights with our listeners.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, Tristan, for sharing your invaluable insights and the impactful work TELUS Business is doing to support small businesses across Canada. Your stories and strategies are an inspiration to all. We also extend our sincere thanks to our partners RBC, UPS, and Xero for their continuous support. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to the Small Business Podcast. Remember to subscribe to Canadian SME Small Business Magazine by visiting canadiansme.ca for more inspiring stories and expert advice. Until next time, let's continue to support and uplift these small businesses that form the backbone of our communities.